evening. Hello and welcome. You're watching The Right Stand here on CNN News 18 with me, Poonam Burde. Vinayak Savarkar is a hero to some. He's a hate figure to some others. A deeply polarizing figure in the sense of the emotions he invokes, they are quite extreme. Was Savarkar the revolutionary that independent India has always ignored? Or was he a man who begged for mercy from the British like the Congress believes? Many historians believe that Savarkar has been all but a footnote in the history that we've all studied since school. Truth be told, he is not your regular hero from any history books. But he's being brought back into public discourse every now and then. Some say rightfully so, while some others say it's nothing but petty politics. So what is the latest flashpoint? This time, it's in Karnataka. Again, a state that has had its own brush with Savarkar in the recent past. A portrait in the State Assembly in Belagavi has triggered a fresh war of words over Vinayak Savarkar and the place he deserves in history. Before I open this up for debate, take a look at what transpired in Karnataka.
Hindutva icon V.D. Savarkar's portrait being unveiled on the opening day of the winter session of the Karnataka Assembly in Belagavi. The move triggered massive protests by the Congress, led by Leader of Opposition Siddaramaiah. He and other Congress MLAs questioned the need to feature Savarkar inside the Karnataka Assembly and held up pictures of Jawaharlal Nehru during their protest on the steps of the Assembly building.
It is not a protest, it is our demand to put portraits of national leaders and also social reformists.
We brought this photo because we are going to raise a lot of corruption issues on them.
While Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai tried to diffuse tensions.
As far as what is happening, Vidhan Sabha ಒಳಗಡೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದು ಸ್ಪೀಕರು ಮತ್ತು ಲೆಜಿಸ್ಲೇಚರ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರುವಂತದ್ದು. ನಾನು ಇನ್ನ ಸ್ಪೀಕರ್ ಭೇಟಿಯಾಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ.
Other BJP leaders questioned the objection to Savarkar.
क्यों बवाल कर रहे? पार्लियामेंट सेंट्रल हॉल में सावरकर जी का फोटो है या नहीं है? स्वतंत्र वीर सावरकर के डालने से आपको दुख होगा. किसका डालना है? सिद्धरामैया को पूछो, ये दाऊद इब्राहिम का डाल. Rightful recognition for Savarkar or simply a bit to polarize before elections?
So why is Vinayak Savarkar such a polarizing figure? We break it down for you. What is it that the Congress believes and what is it that the BJP, RSS and many historians believe? Like I said, he is a divisive figure in the sense of the emotions and the extremes that he invokes. For the BJP and the RSS, he was a patriot, a freedom fighter. There's absolutely no debate over that. While the Congress and several other critics believe that he paid his allegiance to the British, which is why he should not be celebrated. The BJP RSS believe that he was the father of Hindu nationalism and he deserves his place in history. He begged for clemency from the British, says the Congress party. That is the latest objection in Karnataka as well as to why they don't want the portrait of Savarkar in the assembly. And the BJP RSS say that values are foundation of nation building. It was him that built those foundations and that contribution of Vinayak Savarkar cannot be ignored. While the Congress and other critics say that majoritarianism and communalism was his agenda. He proposed all of that, which is why there is no reason why we should celebrate him in a secular country. He imagined a unified Hindu Rashtra, which is why he is an icon, says the BJP and the RSS. While critics, especially the Congress party, say that he really was the proponent of the two-nation theory, he backed Jinnah's theory, and which is why he sowed the seeds of division and not really a unified Hindu Rashtra plan as the BJP portrays him to make. So then, the question we ask here on The Right Stand. We have all known the kind of history that has been taught to people in this country, the kind of footnote that Savarkar has been. Has the icon then denied his place for mere politics? That's the debate we ask here on CNN News 18 on The Right Stand. Joining me on this broadcast, National Spokesperson of the BJP, Shehzad Poonawalla, Spokesperson of Karnataka Congress, Bhavya Narasimhamurthy also with me, George Kurian, a political analyst, Vinay Singh, an author and a senior research fellow at SP Mukherjee Research Foundation, also with me. Vinayak Savarkar's grandson, Ranjit Savarkar, will also be joining us shortly. But let me get started with the politics of it, and it's all began in Karnataka, at least in the most recent past. And Bhavya Narasimhamurthy, what exactly is the opposition against Savarkar? In the assembly today, multiple portraits were unveiled. There are several other icons of the country, freedom fighters as well.
So if you are aware of this, one of the sessions every year happens in Belagavi. When this Belagavi border issue started, Karnataka government built one of the secretariats there, and every year we conduct one of the sessions, assembly sessions in Belagavi. One of the main reasons why BJP brought up this topic and started installing his photograph there, they wanted to unveil it today, was to deviate all the issues we wanted to take up in this session. BJP government in Karnataka is an utter failure when it comes to the administration. They don't have one development program that has come up in the past 3 years of their administration. Instead, they are completely drowned in scams. Starting from Chilume scam, where the voter IDs were faked and deleted and all that. Then the PSI recruitment, government recruitment scam, 40% commission scam. So we wanted to bring all of this up and speak. So they started with this Hindutva debate by bringing up Savarkar's issue. The second reason was there was this big problem between these Marathis and Kannada people in Belagavi recently over this Belagavi issue. It was a test for the leaders of Karnataka, BJP Karnataka, to choose whether they are Kannadigas or they see themselves more as a BJP person or as a Kannada people. So to cover that up and to give a completely different tone, they have brought this up. Our problem is, first answer us. How is Savarkar relevant to Karnataka? What is his contribution to Karnataka? If you want to install his, or if you want to put up his photo in Vivan Sauda, which is an epitome of democracy, don't you think this should have been discussed with the opposition leaders first? It's not a private property of BJP that they will just come up and put some pictures.
So is your objection to the fact that they have put up Vinayak Savarkar there, or is your objection to the fact that they are trying to divert this issue and they did so without consulting you?
Both. Consult us. Let's sit and discuss. Why do you want to put up Savarkar's photo? What is his contribution to Karnataka? Then we can come to a consensus if you think there is something. Otherwise, there are many other leaders, including Valmiki Maharshi, including Narayana Guru, who have contributed a lot, and there are lakhs of followers of these great men in Karnataka. Why not put their photos instead? Why
let me get this straight, Bhavya, sorry to interrupt you, but so you're saying that because he has no contribution to Karnataka, which is why he does not deserve a place in the assembly, is that right? Or does the Congress believe that Vinayak Savarkar does not deserve a place of pride at all?
That was a question because they kept trying to deviate the whole history, change the whole history. We all know Savarkar wrote a mercy petition. In fact, during 1942 Quit India movement, Savarkar completely gave his allegiance to British people and said he will never join this movement. We all know about that. He was taking pension of 600 rupees. Back then it was huge from British people. And how can you put up his photo next to freedom fighters who have sacrificed their lives, who have spent years together in prison for our country?
Sure. So, Shehzad, the Congress says, A, he does not have any place in Karnataka's history, which is why he does not deserve to be on the walls of the assembly. B, he is not an icon to be celebrated at all.
Okay, so let me start with the second issue first and then come to the first. I'll answer all of them, and I've heard Bhavya out very patiently. I hope she'll offer me the same courtesy. If Veer Savarkar ji has no place in the national history of this country, then I want the Congress spokesperson to begin by condemning Indira Gandhi, who wrote a letter saying that he is the most remarkable son of India, Narasimha Rao in 1992, he said that he was one of the greatest patriots. Sharad Pawar, their ally in Maharashtra, best social reformer and revolutionary. Apart from that, you have Yashwantrao Chauhan, I don't think he needs any introduction, who praised him. And not just the Congress people, but in fact communist Shripad Dange, a communist Shripad Dange. So were they also pushing forward the agenda of Hindutva? In fact, there was a stamp that was unveiled for him. And Poonam, you come from the same state as I. In our textbooks, the Veer honorific was added by the Maharashtra government during the Congress tenure. So all of them should be discarded and they should say Indira Gandhi is wrong and Rahul Gandhi is right. Secondly, she says, what is the contribution of Veer Savarkar ji in Karnataka politics? Now, I want, or Karnataka itself, the portraits of Vivekanand ji, Mahatma Gandhi ji, Sardar Patel ji, Subhash Chandra Bose ji were also unveiled at the same time. Now I want to ask that when we celebrate national icons, and Savarkar ji's portrait is there in parliament also, should we start dividing them basis of states? So are you saying that the greatest entities and personalities of Karnataka don't deserve a place in, say, Maharashtra or in some other state or in the national parliament? This kind of parochial mindset. Pehle they divided the country on religion, then on language, and now even on patriots they're dividing, that this is not my patriot, he's your patriot, he's not our patriot. This kind of mindset. Now thirdly, let me address another important issue. The Congress party, if it has so many issues against the Karnataka government, they would have ignored it. They would have said, very good, you put up all the portraits. Very good. Now let us have a debate in assembly about the issues that are concerning the people of Karnataka. But they stalled the assembly session. This is because it shows that the Congress party can't tolerate any icon who's not from the family. This is not just about Veer Savarkar ji. Have you ever heard about Bhagwan Birsa Munda before Prime Minister Modi started the 75 years of celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav? In fact, for the first time we are celebrating Janjatiya Divas, the birth date of Bhagwan Birsa Munda. Sardar Patel's 182-meter statue was built. Congress opposed it because they did not want Sardar Patel's contribution to be recognized. Baba Saheb Ambedkar was denied the Bharat Ratna. He was defeated twice by the Congress when Baba Saheb Ambedkar ji was around. He was defeated twice by the Congress party and they denied him Bharat Ratna. And you know what? They were giving Bharat Ratna to their own family members while they were alive. But Bharat Ratna to Baba Saheb Ambedkar and to Sardar Patel was denied for four decades. This is the mindset of the Congress. They will name 400 schemes from toilet to airport after Indira Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi. But if we put up one portrait of Savarkar ji, one portrait of Sardar Patel, the Congress party starts fuming, and this is their mansikta of only celebrating Parivar, not patriots.
Sure. So Bhavya, it's some kind of allergy that the Congress seems to have, and that also is selective. The BJP says in one state you added the prefix Veer to Savarkar in textbooks, which is in Maharashtra, but in another state you suddenly have an issue and he becomes a polarizing subject. Why so?
So let me address this Sardar Patel issue first. I don't understand why BJP keeps trying to appropriate all Congress leaders as theirs and portray them as someone that we are against. Sardar Patel was from Congress. Is a Congressian, a strong Congressian. In fact, he was totally against RSS. He wanted to ban RSS. He is our leader. We have never said anything against his photo being put up or his statue being put up there. We were always
and yet some would suggest that the Congress party has often neglected him and really not given him the place that he deserved. But let's come back to Savarkar.
Just 30 seconds. Poonam, 30 seconds. I just require 30 seconds. Poonam, I remember you had anchored this story. I remember the story. Bhavya, 30 seconds. Poonam, you had done this story when Mr. D.K. Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah were caught on candid camera discussing that on the Punya Tithi of Srimati Indira Gandhi, 31st October, they said कि अरे जल्दी से फोटो लाओ एक वीर वल्लभ भाई पटेल का. We have never been celebrating वल्लभ भाई पटेल. उनको भी celebrate करना है. This they were caught on candid camera, and I remember the story was done by you. Secondly, please tell me that if they were for Sardar Patel, then why did they oppose the Statue of Unity? Why did they never start run for unity? They never celebrated 31st October because they were only. We also celebrate the martyrdom of Indira Gandhi. But
many icons of this country who deserve to be icons have often been neglected by the Congress party, and Sardar Patel was one of them. But let's come back to the subject at hand, Bhavya, and let's talk about Savarkar. The question I asked you was, is it selective? Does it depend on states? So the Congress in Maharashtra feels that Savarkar deserved the prefix Veer in history textbooks, which is why it was put there. But in Karnataka, the same Congress feels that's not the case.
Yeah. So this is my third debate for today on the same issue. I had two debates in the regional channels where everywhere the BJP spokesperson, they always use only Indira ji's comment on Savarkar. When we ask about his contribution, they don't have any contribution to mention by themselves. all they speak about is the quote from Congress people on
I quoted a
Savarkar.
communist,
I don't really understand why.
Sripad
First
Dange.
point, no.
Bhavya, I
Indira
think
ji,
you missed what I said.
About it.
Bhavya, with all
Next
due
thing-
respect, I quoted Sharad Pawar, not in your party. Narasimha Rao never acknowledged him either. And communist Sripad Dange, Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. I quoted multiple statements. I have a statement of the Indian Church Association also in favor of Veer Savarkarji's contributions. And finally, madam, please, can I have 30 seconds? You are saying that Veer Savarkarji, 1 second, 30 seconds. You said Veer Savarkarji wrote a petition. 1 second, ma'am. Mahatma Gandhi's letter to Veer Savarkar's brother, and Veer Savarkarji's brothers told by Mahatma Gandhi, I suggest you frame a brief petition setting forth facts of the case, bringing in a clear relief that the fact that the offence committed by your brother was purely political. The idea for the petition was given by Mahatma Gandhi, and he also, in a sense, acknowledged the contribution of Veer Savarkarji. This is the reality. By the way, the stipend was given to Mahatma Gandhi, Nehruji, and to all political prisoners because that was the trend of that time.
And Bhavya, because you say that the BJP only quotes Congress leaders and Indira Gandhi to talk of Savarkar and they really have no achievements to show of his own, I want to get in the person who perhaps can lay that debate to rest, and that is Veer Savarkar's grandson, Ranjit Savarkar, who also joins us on this broadcast. And Ranjit Savarkar, I'd like to ask you, not only as a response to this particular Congress spokesperson who's on our debate, to Congress in general, or critics of Vinayak Savarkar in general. What are his contributions, they ask? Why should he deserve a place of pride?
No, first let me clear my point of view. Congress is deliberately targeting Savarkar because Savarkar is the icon of Hindutva, and today the BJP, Hindutva party, is in power. First time it has happened was 2000 when Vajpayee government was there. After 2004 to 2014, there was no such opposition. I am making a very responsive statement. After 2014, again when Narendra Modi came in power, the Congress started attacking Savarkar. Indira Gandhi, I will say, she not only admired Savarkar, she followed all the policies of Savarkar. Considering militarization of the nation, industrialization of the country, strengthening the army, dividing the Pakistan into two pieces, atomic explosion, everything. She followed Savarkar's philosophy, she took Gandhi's name. Now coming to this point, lot of documents are coming out nowadays. You talked about two-nation theory. Two-nation theory was put up by Sir Syed Ahmed before birth of Savarkar in 1883. Now Savarkar opposed the division, and it was ultimately Nehru was the first politician who accepted in his personal capacity partnership. I have got official British documents with me. On May 9th, Nehru was taken to Simla by Lord and Lady Mountbatten on a special tour because Mountbatten wanted to present this plan to Nehru. Now why he was taken to Simla? Why it was not done in Delhi? I don't know. Lord Mountbatten says in his voice legal report, I asked Nehru to come as my guest as I thought he was nearing a breakdown from overwork. And he spent 4 days with us. So if was Nehru your friend or enemy of British? Who will take the enemy for rest? So this itself it made it clear, this document, why they took him there. Then he presented a plan of division, partition to Nehru on 10th night, 10th May 1947. On 11th May, Nehru expressed his strong opposition to the plan. On 12th, this strong opposition suddenly turned 180 degrees, and he says, my only objection is, if this British did give a decision, and as it was regarded, bloodshed followed, not only would the British have to take the blame, but also Indo-British relations would deteriorate. This is from the minutes of the Viceroy Staff meeting, 31st meeting, May 12, 1947. Mountbatten says, Pandit Nehru has expressed the view that Indians should take the blame. Now this was Nehru's opposition was British should not take the blame for partition. Indians will take. He goes ahead further and says he would be prepared to afford all manner of safeguard and assurances to the Muslim League if power was handed over to the present interim government. It means power of India to Nehru and power of Pakistan to Liaquat Ali. He also agreed it will be possible to proceed with the proposed referendum of NWFF. So this was all against the set policy of Congress. He accepted this in the personal role. And why his opinion was changed? What has happened in the last 24 hours? From on May 11 to May 12th, what has happened that Nehru changed his opinion and betrayed the nation? And furthermore, Nehru put a condition that partition date should be preponed by 11 months. Earlier, the partition date was June or July 1948. So Nehru brought it forward to 15th August, and it means that partition was completed only 72 days after the Mountbatten Plan was declared. Now 72 days to divide a country into such a huge country is impossible task. Even the personal assets cannot be divided. When the family splits, it is not possible to settle the matter in 72 days.
Right.
So this happened. The government was paralyzed. Army and police were not ready. The total anarchy was in the country. Around 20 lakhs people died. Lakhs of women were abducted and raped, and all this was because of Nehru's personal relations with Mountbattens. Because again, Mountbatten says, report number 7, May 15, 1947, he spent 4 days with us. We have made real friends with him, and whatever else happens, I feel this friendship is sincere and will last. This was in the official report.
Right. So
Mountbatten
there's ample evidence
report.
as far as at least
So
Nehru
when
is
you write
concerned
about
and his
personal
close
friendship-
ties and
no,
personal
when you
friendship
write about a
with,
personal friendship, please listen to me.
Yes.
Please listen to me.
Yes,
Please
yes,
listen
go
to
ahead.
me.
Go ahead.
When you write about a personal friendship in the official report, it clearly means this friendship was towards British. And he is going to be Britishers' loyal friend years to go. Now I challenge Mr. Rahul Gandhi to answer this. I have got further so many more documents. Stop making allegations against Savarkar. Now defend your great-grandfather. This is my challenge. And after I issued a challenge, they stopped in Maharashtra. Earlier he was doing the same thing, defaming Savarkar in Maharashtra. They stopped it. And now again they have started. So this is my challenge to Rahul Gandhi. Please answer my charges.
And Ranjit Savarkarji, I wanted to ask you that, like you said, there's ample evidence that is now coming to the fore to show closeness between at least one Congress leader, which is Jawaharlal Nehru, and the British. And yet, we have the Congress and Rahul Gandhi himself always talk about that one letter where they say that Savarkar begged for mercy and took clemency from the British. So why should we consider him a hero? He's a traitor. How do you respond to Rahul Gandhi and everyone from the Congress who keeps quoting that letter to you?
Look, first of all, Savarkar never given a multiple. He never apologized, first of all. His petitions were the petitions of general clemency for all the political prisoners, and that is what Britishers referred to his petition in their internal documents. I have got all the documents with me. Secondly, just a common sense question. If he was so great friend of Britishers, why he was kept in Andaman and incarcerated for 27 years between jail and house arrest? They should have, see, and why, if the Nehru and Gandhi were the great opponents of British governments, they were kept in palaces. And even when Nehru, this was in 47, 3 months before the partition, and Nehru was having a breakdown, so Mountbatten, his wife, personally texts Nehru. So who is friend and who is foe for the Britishers? It is clear, it is a matter of common sense. Person who was incarcerated for 27 years is a friend, or person who is given a special treatment in Simla. And mind you, 333 people went to Simla to prepare that Viceregal Lodge for this great visit. 333 people. Mountbatten has written in detail about it. So for the comfort of Nehru, so much care is taken, and for the comfort of Savarkar, he is given a kolu. So friend, you send friend to Andaman and ask him to, in place of bullock, you ask him to make that kolu work, and for a foe, you keep him in palaces.
Is that not
Common sense
hypocrisy
question,
and double standards, Bhavya?
Yeah, definitely whenever it comes to the revolutionaries, Congress wanted all the credit, so all the revolutionaries were denied. Even after the freedom, Chandrasekhar Azad's mother, she died penniless. This is a fact. Now Congress may be claiming these are great heroes and all. But Congress did injustice to all the revolutionaries because they wanted 100% freedom. 100% credit for the freedom movement.
Right.
This is a fact.
Right, Ranjit Savarkar, do stay on with me. I have the Congress spokesperson on this panel as well, and if she could actually respond to the open dare that you have issued here on the right stand to Rahul Gandhi and to the Congress party. Bhavya, would you like to respond? There's ample evidence as far as Nehru's closeness to the British is concerned, say Savarkar's grandson. Why then is only Savarkar singled out? Is this a pattern that the Congress follows for anybody who is outside of the family? Because that's just how the Congress has been.
So can he actually define what he means by Nehru being, close to British? He spent 10 years of his life in jail. He never wrote any mercy petitions.
He read out those excerpts from a government report for you, in which Mountbatten said Nehru and I became close friends.
Alleging his loyalty to British, he didn't write a letter to British during 1942. Instead, he went to jail. Like, how can you just compare two things which cannot be
Let me give
comparable?
history. May I just come in very quickly, Poonam?
Yes, Shehzad, I will get you in, but 30 seconds before, I just want to tell you, Bhavya, maybe you didn't hear what Ranjit Savarkar said, but he was quoting out of a document, a government document, which said Mountbatten said Nehru and I had come to become great friends. That was the closeness that he was referring to.
Oh, that was the closeness. Mountbatten was the head of the British government here during the partition. There was this committee set up under Mountbatten to make sure the power is transferred carefully. It's not like they conspired against India. There is a reason why there was a diplomatic relationship between them. That how can you compare that with getting pension from British people
look
and going
at the irony of this. Poonam, look at the irony. Look at the
Shehzad,
shocking irony. Okay, now it's beneath Mr. Ranjit Savarkar to sit here and defend his family's legacy, but let me give you a few facts. By the way, Mr. Motilal Nehru advocated for Jawaharlal to be removed from Nabha jail within a few days because he could not really take a real jail for once, and therefore you should go and check your history. Point number one. Point number two, if taking stipends or whatever is seen to be anti-national, then by the way, madam, in 1910, in 1894 and in 1888, who was the president of the Congress party? They were serving British civil servants, William Wedderburn, Alfred Webb and George Yule. What does that say? A British civil servant was the head of the Congress party, and they come and they have the audacity to say Ranjit Savarkar's family was a traitor to this country. And by the way, if you don't know the contributions of Savarkar ji, go ask Uddhav Thackeray ji, or better yet, go read the book of Vikram
I
Sampath.
think that you should be appreciating the Congress leaders that we snatched away the party which was under them and made sure that India gets freedom.
You had British civil servants, for Pete's sake, leading the Congress party. Is that how you are fighting the British?
We're down to that same argument, and George Kurian and Vinay Singh also are patiently waiting on this broadcast. Sorry it's taken me this long to come to you. But Vinay Singh, it eventually boils down to that as far as the freedom struggle is concerned, it was the Congress that needs to be celebrated and all other icons can take a backseat. Is that what it boils down to? Vinay Singh.
Poonam. If we look at the history of Congress, the Congress party never opposed to Savarkar. This is the Rahul Gandhi or Sonia Gandhi version of Congress who is opposing to Savarkar and who is pointing fingers on Savarkar. The Congress party of Narsimha Rao ji, the Congress party of Indira Gandhi, they celebrated Savarkar. And if you want to get certificate about Savarkar, I think two persons, one is Mahatma Gandhi and the others are Britishers. They can certify who Savarkar was. So let me quote first. Mahatma Gandhi wrote a letter on 22nd.
Bhavya, you had your time for 26 minutes. Vinay Singh has been patiently waiting. Let him have his say.
Please.
Bhavya, you had your time. I will give you time to rebut. Let Vinay Singh speak. It's been 26 minutes only. Two other panelists on this panel have not even spoken. Please give them the courtesy. Vinay Singh, go ahead.
But she said Savarkar was convicted of killing Mahatma Gandhi. What is she saying?
Just a minute. I am quoting a letter 22 March 1945 published with collected works of Mahatma Gandhi, e-book publication division, Government of India, volume 86, page 86. He has written a letter to Savarkar ji after the demise of his brother, and he has addressed Savarkar as Bhai Savarkar. So several letters Mahatma Gandhi has written to Veer Savarkar, and every time the second letter, collected works of Mahatma Gandhi, volume 38, page 138. Again, he is quoted as Bhai Savarkar. So Mahatma Gandhi always, gave a great respect to Savarkar. And you come to the British. British always deemed Savarkar, or they considered Savarkar as a great threat. So these are the two points from where you can get certification. And one more thing. When you are questioning the contribution of Veer Savarkar, this is not you are questioning the contribution of Veer Savarkar, but you are proving the fact that you have a history of demeaning and demonizing the freedom fighters. You have anti-India mindset. How can you criticize a freedom fighter who was praised several times by several prime ministers of this country? And even by Mahatma Gandhi, the father of this nation, Mohandas Kamchand Gandhi. And the last point, who were the beneficiaries of partition? There were two beneficiaries. On one side was Mr. Jinnah and the other side was Mr. Nehru. He was the beneficiary of partition. He was the beneficiary of killings which happened due to partition. They were the beneficiaries of the rapes and killings and murders which happened due to partition. If Mr. Nehru would have wanted Mr. Jinnah, they both could have, avoided this state of partition. They could have avoided that. But partition came as a blessing for them.
Sure.
And Nehru family become a dynasty.
Sure. And coming back to the point that you were making, Vinay Singh and Bhavya,
dynasty came into formation.
Yes, and coming back to the point of Mahatma Gandhi actually giving a certificate, perhaps the biggest one, to Vinayak Damodar Savarkar. Bhavya, you were making a point. Go ahead.
No, she said Mahatma Gandhi's killing, Savarkar was convicted.
Yeah, we didn't get that, which is why I'm giving her a
That
chance
is atrocious.
I didn't realize that Mahatma Gandhi gave him a certificate and still Savarkar supported his killer.
This is absolutely...
There is no evidence to support that. There is no evidence to support that, Bhavya. What makes you say that?
1 second. Where is the proof for this?
I can't really hear.
1 second.
I'm
Bhavya.
saying there's no evidence to support what you're saying, that he supported Mahatma Gandhi's killer. Where are you getting that from is what I'm trying to ask you.
He has attended court hearing.
And then there was no evidence at those courts. And then there was no evidence against Savarkar said those very courts.
There are pictures where he's actually sitting in the court.
Madam,
but that very court said there isn't enough evidence against Savarkar.
No, 1 second. Let me put the historical fact right. The Kapoor Commission acquitted Mr. Savarkar. This not just a court. The Kapoor Commission acquitted Mr. Savarkar. There is no evidence to suggest that you said he was convicted. Do you even know the difference between convicted and acquitted? Your first statement, which you've now gone back on, was that Mr. Savarkar was convicted of killing Mahatma Gandhi. That's what you said. The tape can be rewound. You said Mr. Savarkar was convicted. Can you please provide the evidence that where was he convicted?
Justified rape as one of the weapons of war.
Madam, don't shift the goalpost.
Let's not try and digress. And I will not have facts being misrepresented here on this debate. And that is exactly the point I'm getting at, George Kurian. That is the biggest problem here, that facts are being distorted. Yes, we know that history is written by victors. But does that mean we paint those people who are not convenient to us in a bad light? Or not paint them at all because that's just convenient. That's even more convenient.
Well, Poonam, I have very patiently heard my fellow panelists and also Ranjit's version of Savarkar. What comes to light is that BJP is very keen on rewriting history, and the point here is that Congress was trying to defend, and they wanted a discussion before. They should have been taken into confidence before the portrait could be unveiled in the assembly. That's all that Congress had demanded, and before the winter session. And all they demanded is that there should be national leaders and social reformists also be on the same line. And having said that, this Savarkar's agenda has come into a broad daylight kind of a debate here. That's the very reason that we are debating this on a prime time. BJP today in Karnataka is unable to defend themselves because they know the elections are around the corner, just about 4-5 months down the line. And they know that the situation is too tight for them because they have seen how the Bharat Jodo in Karnataka has responded. So they know what's coming their way. And also about the media and the Bharatiya Janata Party trying to strategically try to use all the machineries in place to counter and provoke the Congress party so that they can get something out of this entire issue and make an issue out of the entire thing. And because right now we know there's a corruption in Karnataka, misgovernance by the Bharatiya Janata Party in Karnataka, and Congress is right now in a position where we look forward to about crossing a 150 mark in Karnataka, and also to give you a point of view about the Congress party, there is no infighting within the Congress party. Congress party is a national party which is
so then a simple question I want to ask George Kurian, if that was the case, if you thought the BJP in the state was diverting attentions from the real issue, why did the Congress not bring it back? Why did you protest over Savarkar this morning before the assembly election? Before the assembly session?
Congress party wants to ensure law and order in the state, which the BJP is not able to keep up to.
So you're accusing the BJP of. So you're accusing the BJP of diverting the issue, but you're falling into their trap. That's what some would say. Because perhaps if you think that it was the BJP's plan to divert all attention to Savarkar, then they've won at this game, don't you think? Because that's exactly what happened today.
But we can't just let them do.
George Kurian, go ahead.
So, but we
not
can't just,
really, because
sit quiet and let them change history, right?
Sure, let George Kurian have his say.
We have to show our protest to what they have done.
Sure.
That doesn't mean we are going to
Then
keep
don't
quiet.
accuse the BJP of diverting issues is all I'm trying to say.
We will take up every scam that BJP is into in
Sure.
Karnataka.
Then why just accuse the BJP of diverting? Because there clearly is a diversion from people's issue and all of today was spent in that. If you think that Savarkar is not, whether he gets his place or no of pride is not a issue for the people, then unfortunately an entire day of the assembly session has been wasted over that by all stakeholders. Wouldn't you agree?
So since morning at 10 o'clock, Congress leaders held pictures of all those great men and women who have contributed in social reform for Karnataka and sat till 11.
Sure.
Then they entered the assembly and as usual, we registered a protest and we had our own demands. But they entered the assembly later and the assembly started by, giving respects to all
so this is nothing but politics and Veer Savarkar is back in the limelight as far as Karnataka is concerned. The Congress believes this is nothing but polarization. The BJP and many others believe it's his rightful recognition that he needs. I leave it at that. I thank you all for joining us here on this broadcast. I'm completely running out of time. We have to shift focus to another big story that we are tracking here. But before that, a quick break.